Hey guys, this is Jesse with Alienztech. Welcome to our unboxing of the Corsair Vengeance DDR3. This is a 1600 memory. It's 2 sticks of 4 gigabytes, which gives us our 8 gigabytes. We're going to be putting this into our current build that we've had going. I've had this rig for a couple years now. When it first came out, the motherboard we put in there is this one here. This is the Asus M4A 89 GTD Pro. It's a couple years old, but I've had this rig ever since this board first came out. I put it together. I'm probably going to recommission this rig now for video editing and stuff like that, and we'll start building another one here soon, and we'll use those parts for our unboxing and our video how-tos to keep us going in the future. But right now we got this Vengeance, Corsair Vengeance. The reason why we picked this out is because it matches the board perfectly. The board does take, it can take up to 2000 megahertz memory. This is only 1600, so it's going to work fine. But the reason why we picked it out because of the color scheme. This memory here is going to match the motherboard perfectly. The case we have it in right now is also a blue case. And we'll be working on putting this in, giving you guys a quick little how-to, how to move out the old memory, pop in these new ones. Memory is by far one of the easiest things to do on a computer. Easy. Just make sure you ground yourself, don't shock anything on the computer, and we'll be getting into that here shortly. Alright guys, I'm back. I'm trying to do this and set up the camera at the same time. One-man operation right now. We will be taking out this is value RAM that we picked up a while back ago. We'll be taking this stuff out and dropping in the new Corsair Vengeance 1600. 8 gigabyte, 2 sticks of 4 gigabyte each. All you do with the RAM is you just pull out this one right here. These just pop down and your memory pops right out. This is the I don't know if you can see that. Let me see the camera view. This is the Corsair. This is value RAM. It's $13.33. It was a good price at the time, so we just picked it up. So we take this one out. We will take out the other one, and once you release the pin, they just pop right up and come out. Before you start working on your computer, you should always remember to ground yourself. Use a grounding strip, or if you're not using a grounding strip, just make sure you keep your feet planted. Try not to be on carpet, and touch the power supply before you start. That'll sometimes give you a little shock, but it's better to shock the power supply than to shock the motherboard. So we're going to be popping these in. If you guys can see that. We're going to be popping these in right now, and we're going to be dropping them in right here to the blue ones. The motherboard says if you're just running 2 sticks to use these slots, A1 and B1. And if we later on down the road, if we add more memory, we'll be using these other ones here. So to pop these in, line up your notch. Line up your notch with the notch that's down here. You can barely see that right there. Drop these in. And just push firmly down. And it'll seat itself. You hear that little click. That means this little piece right here popped up and latched itself in. Now we got to grab the other one out and pop that in. Again, line up the notches, push down, and it'll pop right in. There you go. That's it. So now they're installed. And let me pop the camera off of the tripod, and you can see how the color scheme matches pretty close. So we have the color scheme from the RAM, Matches pretty good with the color scheme on the motherboard. Normally color schemes don't matter if you have a closed case, but in our case the case has a pretty good sized window. So it also, we have lights in here, blue LED lights that'll light up. It's kind of hard to sleep with at night, but you know, it's pretty good. So I turn off the computer during nighttime and turn it back on during the day because the lights are pretty bright. Let me put this back on the tripod. Alright, I'm going to put this back together. Alright guys, this is Jesse here with Alienztech. We, as you know from the beginning of the videos, we installed the Corsair memory, the Vengeance 1600. Installed it, put the computer back together and booted it up. When we booted it up, noticed that the memory wasn't picking up, the system wasn't picking it up at 1600. It was, for some reason, the memory was at a default 1333. So we went back into the BIOS, the ASUS BIOS, and changed it, set it up for the 1600, but it wasn't sticking. When we restarted the computer, we saw that it wasn't sticking. CPU ID and Windows Task Manager still had it at 1333. As you can see here, well, this is just CPU ID showing running an Athlon X4 635, and let me close this. You can see right here the default was 667, which is when you times it by 2 comes out to the 1333. Even down here, Windows, let me zoom out. Even down here, Windows picked it up as 667, which is 1333 DDR3. So it wasn't sticking in the BIOS. So we went and I downloaded AMD Overdrive. AMD Overdrive, we set the parameters up in there to make it the 1600. So now our RAM frequency is at 802, which puts us a little over 1600. It's like 1604. So now we're at 1600, which is what the memory was rated at. System recognizes it now, and so now we're doing some benchmarks. Now I didn't have any test benchmarks before as a reference, so I found some benchmarks online. This guy has them here at legitreviews.com. I'll post a link in the description to his findings. You can see there. But what I saw was interesting was his system he was running these benchmarks on was an Intel Core i7, which is way faster than what my rig has. So we'll keep that in mind when we look at the benchmarks. Now we'll scroll down here, we'll go to his next page. We'll just go to the benchmarks that he ran. He ran Sandra and IDA 64. So I ran IDA 64 too. He's coming up with his read and writes at 19606 for the reads and 21769 for the writes, which is really good for this memory. My system, we came up with here we go, 9106 and 7118. So as you can see, there is a big difference in the benchmarks. Overall though, system to me seems like it's running snappier, at least definitely compared to what I had in there before. So really liking this memory so far. We'll start doing some video editing on it and stuff and see how it goes from there. Okay, I just saw something on legitreviews.com on the article they ran. His system he is running it overclocked. Originally he He's running it right now at 4.4 gigahertz, and then the system is really at 3.4. He's running at almost a 30% over increase in speed. So it tells you why my scores are a lot lower than his as far as the memory benchmarks. But with that in mind, I still think this is a very good memory. As you can see from his scores, they're perfect. They're really high. Get a lot of memory for your money. So if you're looking to add some more memory to your system, or looking for a price per performance increase, this is a really good memory Corsair is offering. The prices are really down. I'll throw a link in the description to that. I think I got it for like 34 bucks. Alright, that was it, and see you guys next time.